Hello and welcome to Movie Mash, and hit the follow button if you haven't already. And we're going to quickly talk about Insidious 5. Is it a hit or a miss? Or Insidious The Red Door, is it a hit and miss? Well, alright, so look, I went to see it last night, and I will say that it's part 5 in a franchise, and after 3 most films decline. Exceptions here and there like Mission Impossible and stuff, they keep going, getting stronger. But anyway, look, I'm going to say it was disappointing. I was quite disappointed with it. Alright, look. It's Patrick Wilson. He directed this movie, and he's also the dad who played, for people who don't know, he plays the father, and he's also Ed Warren in Conjuring. Anyway, look, I feel like he did a competent job for his first time. I feel like the acting was really good. He was good, and the boy who was his son, who also played the boy in the first one, I think he'd done a really good job. Now, I saw him on a film, the boy, the son, on The Whale recently. He was the preacher kid selling Bibles or whatever he was. He did a really good job on that, and he did a good job on this. So props to them for that. But the point is that the film was just lackluster. It felt like in the second act of the film, it felt like it was still the first act, and I felt like, let's get the story going here. Like, is this it? Now, it's full of jump scares, and some of the jump scares are alright. I hate jump scares in general, but some of the jump scares were alright, yeah? And props to that. But the thing is that that's all it seemed to have. And it was about a broken family. After the second one, the dad, it's a broken family after the events of the first or the second. And it's kind of like trying to fix all that, and has ghostly things. And I'm not going to give the story away or spoilers in this. I'm just saying, to me, I felt like the film never really got going. As I said, like there's a character in it, there's a young girl in it. She was all right. She seemed to be a bit hyper at times. She didn't fit. I just felt like towards the end, the last act, I was getting really bored, and I was just like, what was the point in this movie? It just felt like there was nothing there. It felt like it didn't live up to its own potential. Maybe it could have explored more. I think the lady, the psychic lady, I think her name is Lynn Shay, she was missing from this movie. I'm not going to say too much, but she was missing from this movie. And those 2 ghost hunter friends of hers in the first 2, they were missing too. They added a bit more, what would you say, comedy to it, or a little bit here and there, yeah? But I'm just saying is, it just towards the end, at the end, I was like, all you're doing is retreading the old part 1. You're literally recreating the end of part 1 for me. That's what, as far as I'm concerned. And I was like, and it wasn't even done as good as the first part, you know, and I wasn't invested as much into it, because for an hour and 45 minutes or so, I was like, you know what, halfway through, I was just really, let's get the story going. Now, look, this is just my opinion. Like, I hope everyone else who goes to see it enjoys it. But for me, it's definitely a miss. Now, look, for me, I think if you're going to watch this, you're better off watching it when it comes out on streaming. Don't waste your money on it. I think all the first 3 Conjuring films are pretty solid. In fact, 1 and 3 are really good. I feel like 4 was okay-ish. Well, now I think 4 is definitely better than this. At least 4, the story got going, it moved along, it paced well. The pacing was really off, and it just feel like, bottom line is, the story never really got going. It just never got going, and I was really disappointed. I wanted this film to be like, part 5, Patrick Wilson's first ever directorial debut. I wanted this film to revamp it, see if you can do something new, and you couldn't. You didn't do anything new with it. It's not Patrick Wilson's fault. I think he did it. I think it was the script and the story. It just never really got going. And a few jump scares here and there that are pretty good. They're not just like walking down a hot corridor and closing a door and stuff like that. There was a few good jump scares in it. Not that I jumped. I'm just saying they were used pretty well. And the tension, there was some good tension in this movie as well. I will say that there's some good tension in it, but it just led to nowhere. And there's so much tension and jump scares you can take after a while, and you're like, all right, like, are we moving along with this story? So these are just my quick thoughts on The Conjuring, Insidious 5, Insidious The Red Door. I mean, look, if I reckon this film would have been better if it came out on streaming. You would have probably done better, and at least you would have watched it and said, yeah, that wasn't terrible, that was all right, but I'm glad I didn't pay for it. Well, if I were you, don't bother, wait for it till it comes out, but it's up to you. Do what you need to. I'm going to say this was a miss. Definitely a miss. And I'm really disappointed, actually. I was hoping more. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think that this is going to be good. Have you seen this already? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know what you think of this movie. Do it. See you later.